Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the ASTRON Rex 105mm. It's a Tier 8 American Premium Medium tank. It's located on the south spawn of Mines Encounter, and it's under the command of PGTraitor of Havoc 3. Game on. Well, this tank is kind of unusual. It's not a tank that was actually put into production. It was rejected at the designs phase. It was put out by Wargaming as part of a marathon, I seem to remember, but I'm not sure if it is still available in the premium shop. It's basically a tank designed to survive a nuclear war, and it's a reduced weight medium. It's a 5-shot autoloader with a 105mm gun, but a very, very long reload in clip. Oh, he's blocking that E50 at the moment. The E50 wasn't happy. He was trying to get past. Okay, so it's got a very long intra-clip reload, 4 seconds. Nice shot into the 777 version 2. He's landed in a Tier 9 game with Tier 8 tanks in it. Now, this tank actually has only 3 crew, a commander, a gunner and a driver, and the only member of crew who hasn't got 2 jobs is the driver. The commander is also the radio man and loader, and the gunner is also a loader in this one. Oh, tried to get a shot there on the TVP, didn't get it. Now it's capable of doing 320 alpha and penetrating 190mm of armor with the standard AP, and with the premium APCR it's capable of doing 250mm of armor, but it's also got very high shell velocity, so it's point and shoot really. It's very good at that. All the crew are in the turret. They've actually been placed in the turret to allow nuclear, biological and chemical protection. And there's a very good reason for doing that, because that means you can have a ventilation system that serves all 3 crew members at the same time, protects them against either nuclear fallout, biological contaminants or chemical contamination. Okay, Emil. Hello, Mr. Emil. He's looking at us. Mark, he's making eyes at me and I don't like them. Hello. Peekaboo. Yeah, he's looking this way. He wants to have a go at us. Now, why would you actually want to put all the crew in one place? Well, basically, in a nuclear war, the biggest problem is going to be contamination on the outside of the vehicle. That is either nuclear fallout from nuclear explosions, or the possibility that the outside of the tank is going to get heavily irradiated. You see, oh, gets one in, but the Emil actually hits us in the track, so we're lucky we got away with that one. And it looks like the Emil's just pulled back to reload. And you see, the only way to actually kill the people inside a tank is if you can get at them. And tanks are basically metal boxes. Now, they do need to breathe, the crew of a tank, so you have to have some way of letting the oxygen in. You don't want the radioactive material to get in either. So you have to filter the radioactive material out, but you also want to enable them to actually operate in the nuclear environment. One of the ways that you can kill a tank in a nuclear environment, of course, is to treat them to what's called nuclear flux. That's lots and lots of neutrons that are produced when a nuclear weapon goes off. And that actually changes the metal to radioactive metal. It actually irradiates it and changes it from ordinary steel into radioactive steel. It actually changes the isotopes in the metal. It actually converts it. Oh, took a nasty one up from the guard. Well, he did fire one at that guy. I think he wants to get one back, but of course he's not loaded yet. The standard reload is 33.28 seconds. He's got 31.74, but it's that 4-second intra clip which can be really, really difficult. Now, the Americans actually rejected this tank at the design stage. They never went ahead and built it, but they could still build it. There are a number of American tanks, such as the Abrams, which are perfectly capable of operating in a contaminated region. But as the Chieftain will probably tell you if you actually watch some of his videos, normally in an Abrams, in order to work out if it's safe to go outside, one of the crew has to take off their gas mask. So long as there's no warning from radioactive material. He just got another kill. He killed the Scorpion. It's his first kill, actually. Oh, Emil gets his own back. Go for another. And he gets it. And another. And he gets it. Can he get the third last one in? Oh no, couldn't get that one in. Hit the turret. Anyway. Yes, so as the Chieftain would tell you, what you would do is you'd normally get one of your crew members to take off his gas mask to test if it was okay to go outside the vehicle and get all the things you need inside the vehicle. And usually that means that the loader is the one who has to do it. He has to take his gas mask off and test the air. So he's the canary, you might say. Hello, Mr. Patriot. He's going to fire one back at us, isn't he? Here we go. Yep, didn't pen us though. Very strong armour at the front of the turrets. 220mm right at the front. And it's got 10 degrees gun depression as well, which makes it very difficult for the enemy pen. We've still got 2 rounds left. But there's still a number of enemy out there. There's still got 7 enemy tanks out there. There's the Scorpion. Oh, he missed it with that shot. One more shell. He's going to try and get a shot on that Scorpion if he can. There he is. And he gets in. Oh, he got spotting, not actual damage. Okay, so now he's in reload and uh-oh. Not what we wanted to see. An SU-101's come up into the top of the hill. He's still in reload. I think he can play hide and seek with this guy for a little while. Yes, so the Chieftain was saying that if somebody does need to go outside, then you have to get one of the crew to take off his gas mask and find out if the air's still contaminated. And that's usually the loader, and the commander's the one who has to order him to do it. Now we're capping at the moment, and capping's almost about to run out, and he's just got another kill. He's got the Emil. There's only 2 mediums left. Well, there was 2. Now there's only 1 left, and it's the guard. Narrowly dodged that one. I think the team have left the cap, and they're now going over to kill the enemy Arty, which are a school bus and an M53, M55. Okay, the guard's over here. We've got an SMVCC moving up to try and take him out. And oh, we just lost the Skoda T27. The guard took him out. We'd like to get a shot at the guard. They're rather flat, so they make easy targets. And the enemy just lost their school bus. And there's only the M53, M55, and now the guard comes into view. That's one. Can we get another one in? Yes, we do, but the kill shot goes to the SMVCC because we got a low roll at the wrong moment. Well, technically it was a high roll, but and that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for PGTraitor in the ASTRON Rex 105mm. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. And he managed a high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game, at least 20% of the enemy hit pool. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he came. Well, he managed to get 4,588 hit points of damage. That's an awful lot while I was waffling on. we got the E75 getting 3,453 in second place, and the third place went to the school bus on the enemy team with 2,166. There you go. When it came to kills, in fact, it was the E75 did the best this time. He got 4 kills, whilst PGTraitor managed to get 3, and so did the STG guard on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, we can see it was PGTraitor who did the best with 1,573, the second highest being the E75 with 958, and the third highest being the Skoda T27 with 856. He fired 23 rounds. You only get 30 rounds, so he only had 7 rounds left at the end of the game. 17 direct hits on the enemy, only 15 penetrations though. It is a very decent gun. Poor gun handling though, unfortunately, on this gun really, or at least that's what they say. He did 4,588 hit points, of which 324 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the damage done at close range. 3 hits received from the enemy, only 1 of which actually penetrated, 2 non-penetrations, and 680 hit points of damage blocked by armor. The shot that hit him and penetrated was from the guard, and it hit him from behind as he was moving away from the battlements, or at least the sides of the hill. He was actually managed to squeeze a shot in. He did hit the guard before the guard hit him, so I suspect that the guy was only trying to get some revenge. 680 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles hit, 3 killed, and 1,072 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 91,728 credits for the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he still made a profit of 85,037 credits. 1,573 XP, 9,440 from personal missions, 236 for this being a premium vehicle, and 12,036 experience points altogether. Well, yes, the ASTRON Rex, if you can get used to that 4-second reload, it is a rather long time. And then, of course, the incredibly long reload whilst you're waiting for those shells to go in, then you can actually play this quite well. If you think about it, on a par with other tanks, you'd say that the 37, or not 37 actually, it's 33-second reload, isn't that much worse than the reload you get on the Lorraine 40 ton, and that's a 4-shot autoloader as well, and an oscillating turret. So it's really not that much different from the others. It's just, of course, it does have a very strong turret, but a very weak cupola. Let's have a quick look at the armor profile for this tank. Yeah, there's that carbuncle of a cupola. It really is big. And remember, all 3 crew are sitting in the same turret, so there's nobody up front. We can see that it does have a very, very strong front of the turret. We're looking at 222 there. In fact, the strongest is 220, but looking at that there, you can see it's showing 250 on the glacis, on the not on the glacis, sorry, on the mantlet. But it's actually, I think you can see that the gun is oscillating in this part here, where it's actually going up and down. And I think that's some means of protection to actually keep the fallout outside. So it's not a traditional mantlet as sort. It's a protective one, which you do find on most modern tanks nowadays. And you can see the cast turret is actually graduated. It gets thinner as you go round. It starts off at 220, then it goes down to 210, 200, 190. So it's a range, so it's actually producing a stronger angle right at the front. Of course, it's just got that massive cupola, which is a very big weak spot. As you can see, if you're looking at it, it's 120 millimeters and 110 there, and near the top it's 110, so 90 millimeters there. Yeah, everyone's just going to aim for the carbuncle right on top of the tank if they're smart, because of course that would be the easy place to penetrate. The upper glacis is 85 millimeters, but angles out very well at 137. You can see how steeply it's raked. And the lower glacis is even more raked. It's 130 impacted armor, but coming out at 200. So it would be a big mistake to aim for the lower glacis on this tank, because it's either going to bounce off or it's going to come up against some very thick metal. The sides of the tank are a little easier to pen. It's 70mm there, so ideally you don't want to side scrape and offer the sides of the vehicle if you can, because if you do and they manage to get a shot through, it will probably pen. I think really what you want to do is use a hold down position, and then if you can, use the gun depression to shoot at the enemy in such a way as the angles prevent him getting a shot into you, and to try and hide that cupola as much as you can. Okay, from the rear of the tank you can see the metal goes down to 75mm at the rear. On the rear of the hull it's only 50mm. The engine deck is very, very small, 20mm, and the top of the tank itself is 30mm. So Arty should be able to pen from above, so long as they don't hit the turret or the front plate. Otherwise they're going to have a little bit of difficulty trying to get through. If we look at the live model to see how difficult it is with a 105mm shell, yeah, a 105 is going to have pretty much a lot of difficulty trying to get through from that angle. If you angle the armor in a hold down, you can see that the armor does become very strong. If it's straight on like that, you can see the lower plate is strong, and you can see how the armor, as you angle it, actually gets either stronger from the front or weaker as it goes to the side. So let's have a quick look at the modules. Unfortunately there are none, because unfortunately Wargaming has not shared it with anyone, so I'm afraid all we can do here is guess as to where people are. And my guess is that this is the commander, because the commander gets the biggest hatch, he's got the biggest head, and therefore it's the biggest head that's going to get knocked off. This, I think, here is probably the driver, and this here will be where the gunner is. So the gunner is actually probably directly in front of the commander, and he's kicking him in the back to get at the shells. And the commander, of course, is loading the shells into the breech. But I think this is the driver's cupola here, because obviously it's got much more view range all around, whereas the gunner only needs a gun sight and then to be told where to look by the commander. So that's all I can guess. That and the fact that the engine is definitely at the back there in the rear of the vehicle, and we've probably got the ammo storage in this area here, and we might even have the fuel up front, because you can use fuel as armor on some of these tanks. At least some people actually did. The British did. Anyway, that's where all the modules are for the ASTRON Rex 105. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below where it feeds the algorithm, especially when he gets his munchies. Yeah, we really do want to get the channel noticed, and the best way to do that is for them to notice the comments left after the videos. And thanks to everyone who does leave a notice or a message and say either well done or just to make a comment on it. A lot of these people have sent these replays in because they want you to see them, because they're proud of what they've done. So if you give them a bit of encouragement, they'll do better. But thanks very much for sending this one in, PGTraitor, and thanks everyone for watching.